Welcome back to Bourbon Country Reacts. I'm Keith.
Kyle? Dustin.
Kyle and Dustin.
Yeah.
And so we if you haven't seen us, you want to know who we are, what we're about, go check out our first video. I'll give you a quick overview. Kyle's a guitar god. Dustin's a bourbon god, and I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm, a master of none type. Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. So,
but we all want to learn about country music.
That is true. That is why we are here. We want you to teach us about country music. Drop comments. Tell us what to watch, what songs we need to listen to. Right now, we're going off personal recommendations from friends that are country music fans. We are all fans of other types of music. I'm a metalhead rock guy. Kyle's done he's into a bunch of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm a little eclectic, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not here because of the country music. I'm here because of the bourbon.
Dustin is here for the bourbon. Yep.
Just saying.
Yep. So, hey, speaking of the bourbons,
We got some bourbon. So this is one I've not had. So I'm kind of this is a live reaction from me, the bourbon guy. Yeah, right.
So you've not had this one yet?
I've not had this one. It's called Old Bardstown, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It is 100 proof, so
okay.
it's gonna have a little fire to it. Bottle and bond. So you want to talk a little bit about what bottle and bond means, because that's kind of important.
So bottle and bond, just to be bourbon, for those of you who may be bourbon neophytes,
Which is me.
well, we could really go down. That's like a whole freaking video on what makes bourbon.
True. The ABCs.
Yeah, but bottle and bond. So whiskeys are probably one of the most heavily regulated manufacturing endeavors in the United States.
Okay.
Bottled and bond is an extra level
Okay.
so basically the government actually observes and signs off on every step of the process of making bourbon when it's bottled in bond.
So you could be audited to ensure you have just bottled in bonds.
No, they audit in real time.
They really do.
Wow.
They're usually, most distilleries have a little office for their personal fed
Oh my God.
that monitors.
And it dates back to just after Prohibition days.
Does your broker have that? I don't think so.
So it dates back. The bottle and bond is big because back when whiskey was young still and new, you could literally go blind by drinking bad whiskey.
Okay.
So bottle and bond was there's a label that said this is
Safe
this is
to
actually
drink.
safe to drink by the
Okay.
federal
The
government.
government has put a stamp on it.
Right.
So that comes out of the Willett Distillery, which makes a lot of really, thank you, sir,
Yeah.
really good bourbons. So Dustin gets I've had some of this. Kyle has not. Dustin has not. And we'll get there.
Now, are you guys expecting this one to come in at a finer level than that Weller we just experienced?
Oh, that last episode.
The Weller 107 is a pretty high bar.
That was a
We'll
high
see.
bar.
Yeah.
It felt good.
So as far as songs go,
Yeah,
we're not all about bourbon. We're a lot about bourbon, but not all about bourbon. We are trying to learn country music, and I have a suggestion from a friend of mine who told us if we want to know country music, we absolutely have to check out Chris Stapleton. And I was directed to check out his older stuff. So it's come to my attention that he used to be part of a band called SteelDrivers, which I'm told has a little more of a bluegrass feel,
All right.
which I'm totally cool with. Man.
Yeah.
Bluegrass strings players blow my mind.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, let's get into some
Let's hear it.
SteelDrivers with Chris Stapleton here and see how this sounds. 2, 3, 4.
Well, just look down, give me 40 days. Instead of the fine that I could not pay.
Holy crap!
I mean,
Holy crap!
Yeah.
So there's the whole strings thing going on there,
Mhm.
which is pretty cool.
Sounded so good.
You have this interval, and that's that minor third interlude. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, just you're bobbing your head like it's like you're listening to a
It's like-
Metallica
it's
concert.
like coming home.
You know? Yeah. And then Chris Stapleton, I'm assuming that's the guy in the hat,
Yeah.
hit you like a truck with that voice.
He's got He's got some pipes.
You hear a very skilled bluegrass group playing, and then all of a sudden you hear a
Bam.
demigod walk in and start singing.
I love that.
I'm going to back this up
Yeah.
because I
Yeah,
need to hear that again. I think
Yeah.
y'all all right with going all the way to the very beginning? All right.
Start
Look,
with-
yeah, let's go all the way
Let's
back
just
on
listen to this
that.
one for a
Oh,
little bit.
that was great.
Nice band. Nice songs.
I'm hearing slides you don't want to hear.
Well, judge looked down, gave me 40 days. Set up the fine that I could not pay. Said, walk right, you'll soon be home. Cross the line and you're on your own. 40 days, the shotguns and barbed wire fences.
So where can we go see these guys live?
Right.
No kidding.
Seriously.
40 days of shotguns and barbed wire fences just belted at you with that voice, man.
And they kicked it up, man. The accompaniment hit kind of a double time feel there. They kept the same pulse, but they play in eighth notes instead of quarters, and it gives you that faster quickening.
Yeah, and that fiddle stepped in
Mhm.
and put that fill in there. So as guitar players, usually in rock and stuff, we're the guys adding the little runs
Right.
and fills in.
Right, the banjo player's handling that nicely here with these little rolls he's doing in between the pulse, a very strong pulse with the bass, and it very much reminds me of a blues number, but that's kind of where the blue and bluegrass comes from. if you ask me.
Well, it's almost like that banjo player is playing it like blues guitar, because I'm hearing slides and bends on the
That's-
banjo, which is not
Yeah,
normal.
he's definitely doing a lot of slide ins, and you can hear that subtle slide in, and usually that means you're sliding in from the seventh note to the root note, and that's just a little bit of music theory, probably a little too far than we want to go, but it's why it sounds cool.
So his vocals, I don't know if you guys get this. I'm definitely getting this. Like, so I said pipes before, but it's like a train.
Yeah, like a train whistle.
Yeah.
Dude, so this transports me.
He's got power, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not sitting, guys, we're from Indiana. I'm not sitting in Indiana when I'm listening to this. I am down south, man. I'm in Georgia or Alabama
Down in
somewhere.
a holler.
Yep, just.
Transportation. Yeah. Yep.
Well, actually, I'm from West Virginia. Back home in West Virginia, this kind of thing that gets played, you know, around
Sure.
bonfires and
Not
stuff.
not John Denver back then. No.
We don't listen to John Denver
Okay.
in West
All right.
Virginia.
Let's
Except for Country Roads at a WVU game, which we do.
all right. So
All right,
let's start
back to
up.
this awesome stuff. Yes.
40 nights to sit and listen to the midnight train of Memphis.
Hear that train? He's making it.
Well, now whistle blows when the sun comes up. Help the floor, keep your big mouth shut. Eat your breakfast on the ground. Work like hell till the sun goes down. 40 days, shotguns and barbed wire fences. 40 nights to sit and listen to the midnight train to Memphis.
Yeah, I had no idea that there. I've never heard this song before. Swear to God, I had no idea that we were going to talk about a train. And dang, he hit it.
So there's this movie from the 80s called Crossroads
Yeah.
with Ralph Macchio.
Sure.
And it's kind of iconic as a blues movie for 80s kids that played guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a line in there that is just awesome.
Remind you of this song?
Well, this song reminded me of the line.
Okay.
Can't be no blues man if you can't make a train go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, the force of Stapleton's vocals are just,
It's mind blowing.
it is. It's like he's up there with these folks who are gifted and skilled, obvious. But yeah, just like that, comes at you with the force of a train, and he's up there effortless, phoning it in.
Definitely.
He's probably holding back a little bit, I dare say.
I bet you're right.
Now, I'm telling you, I've been to some rock concerts that hit you in the face.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've seen Metallica right up next to the stage, and Hetfield's and Hammett's guitars just punch you in the foot. Stapleton is doing that with his voice, and I'll tell you, I would love. That does not look like a big venue to me.
No.
Oh my God, to hear that in a bar somewhere
Oh,
would just change your life.
It
wouldn't it?
seriously
Probably.
would. Yeah. You're sitting there enjoying some round drink,
Yep.
and this guy hits you, you'd be like, what?
Oh, I know. And look at them. They'd walk up on stage. They got the big grandpa's guitars and the grandpa bass and the grandpa violin, right? And you're like, who are these guys? And then that comes out. All right, back to it.
Well, now, 10 for the jury, 10 for the judge. 20 more to go get my grudge. When I get to 39, that's the longest day in a prisoner's mind. 40 days, a shot.
Just wow.
I gotta pause. Dustin just started going wow at the lyrics.
Yeah.
There, you know, when you get to day 39, it's the longest one in a prisoner's mind.
Yeah.
I know some cons, and that was a true statement. They will all tell you your last day is the longest one.
Well, I'd imagine it will be, man, especially if it's just 40 days. And it did take me till the second chorus to understand that's what he meant. 40 days of shotgun and barbed wire.
Yeah.
And you can hear the train from his prison cell. Kind of harkens back to the old Johnny Cash Folsom Prison Blues a little bit. So maybe a little bit of a tip of the hat to Johnny Cash from Chris Stapleton there lyrically.
Maybe.
But it's definitely thematically and musically distinct.
Mm.
Its own thing.
Well, something we didn't talk about yet, it keeps hitting me. This guy's picking the banjo really well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
All the players are amazing. The dobro player, the bass player, spectacular.
yeah. These guys are tight. And
He
then
picked a good one.
you've got So shout out to Caleb. You know who
Thanks,
you are.
Caleb.
Well done.
Dig it.
Well done, dude.
Well done.
Well done. All right, back to it.
Down the barbed wire myself. For the nights to sit and listen to the midnight train to Memphis. Midnight train to Memphis. Midnight train to Memphis. Oh, midnight train to Memphis.
Man, he's in Nashville.
That is a strong finish, man. Wow.
My mind is blown.
I'm gonna put Stapleton into my Spotify right now.
Seriously.
Yeah, I think this guy just made everybody hear his playlist.
I
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
This is I'm gonna look for more of this. Well, you know what? Maybe I won't.
Not just yet.
So this song is going on my playlist because I've heard it.
Okay.
Okay.
We may want to check out on this channel other Chris Stapleton and SteelDrivers tunes.
Let's see what else they do.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
and I don't want to spoil that.
So we'll make a gentleman's agreement to only enjoy what we have enjoyed together in this particular genre.
I like that idea.
I am in that agreement. If you guys, wait, we need to talk about the Bardstown, old Bardstown. So I gotta tell you, this is very different
Mm-hmm.
from most Willett Distillery bourbons that I've had.
I don't think you're wrong. I think what's interesting though is I do get a very Willet citrus, but it's not the lemon that I'm used to. It's more like an orange citrus.
Okay, I'm gonna agree, and that's the difference. So, those of you who have had a lot of Willett stuff, like their
Pot still?
the pot still, and even their rye,
Mm-hmm.
it's got a very lemony finish to it that just hangs like you've been chewing on a lemon
Yeah.
in the
I'm
back
not
of your
picking up
mouth.
any of that from this.
Try it again. Now that we've put it into your mind, see if
The
it
power
tastes-
of suggestion and all that.
It's true. You smell orange? You don't get it?
I don't know, man.
Okay, that's all right.
So
I'm learning.
I tend to taste cinnamon in bourbons.
I do too. So
And,
far.
and I'm getting a little cinnamon out of this. I'm getting some kind of citrus that you're describing. I don't know if I can call it orange.
I'm definitely getting kind of an orange vibe from this one.
You know, I think I would agree with Dustin. There's a faint note of orange.
So what I would say about it is that it is not as citrusy as other Willets.
True.
Now, Kyle, or I think one of y'all asked, how does it compare to the Weller's 107
Right,
we had
yeah.
last time?
Right.
What do you think?
I like the Weller better.
Okay, that's fair.
You?
I mean, the antique is pretty good.
Yeah.
This one, like,
It's not quite as smooth.
I have the perfect way to describe. So this one, I think I could probably drink this one all night, and I would keep enjoying it
Mm.
because there's enough complexity to keep me coming. Because every time I take a sip, it's a little bit different. With the Weller, it gets a little boring. It's really good, but all night long, I couldn't do it because it's got some good notes and some good flavors, but every time you go back to the well, it tastes the same. This one has enough complexity that you're not going to do that.
All night long, couldn't do it. Sounds like a gauntlet has been established.
Well, careful with those all night long gauntlets. Those have resulted in some really uncomfortable
It's
mornings.
Mother's Day tomorrow,
What
right?
about you?
So
That's true.
I think it's probably not quite as good as the Weller 107. I agree with you that if it were the only bottle on my shelf, I don't think I'd be disappointed.
It's
I could.
It's doing the job for sure.
and
But I'll
again,
tell you, but just as the neophyte of the group, out of the three we've had, I think I prefer the horse soldier.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just because maybe I don't have an experienced palate, but
Well,
this one is the
an
most
inexperienced palate can be an honest palate
Yeah.
because we develop biases.
sure.
That's
sure.
true. And
That's-
well,
yeah.
I can. So I've reached a point, sadly, and this may be a problem, that I can discern generally pretty well specific distilleries.
Right.
From a blind
Wow.
test. We've both done it.
Yeah.
That's
We've
cool.
actually pegged the exact label.
This one, I would say, like just using my own dummy words, I would say it's more medicine-y, more like a liquor than it is like a fine drink, as compared to the other two examples from this evening.
Interesting.
Because those were both, I would say Horse Soldier had more flavor, and I would say that Wellington or Weller? Weller. The Weller had, it's got all of it, right? So it's got it all. But this is not bad. I mean, it does the job, it does the thing, but it's like, I don't know if it's that much different than, your average bottle of whiskey to me. It was like I always, when I have bourbon, I taste whiskey, but,
So
this is, you can tell they're better. You can tell it's fine. You can tell it's good.
I just took another sip. Tell me you don't taste an old fashioned in that,
Totally. Absolutely.
right?
Yep, without question.
That's okay. Yeah, that
It definitely tastes. You get like an old fashioned taste out, like just straight from the bottle.
Yeah, so maybe that's got like some notes of vintage in there, like how people used to drink, come home from work and have a cocktail ready for you, and you have the old fashioned in the highball glass. That's what it kind of reminds me of when my grandparents and their brothers and sisters would hang out for New Year's. They always had old fashions on New Year's Day. Like that's kind of reminds me of that. It's old school stuff.
Well, I can tell you that. So for you guys, this is our third reaction to both bourbon and songs, and I can absolutely tell you the song has been my favorite out of the three, and by orders of magnitude. It just, Reba's awesome.
Yeah.
You cannot take anything away from Reba.
No, you cannot. But I think we're all going to be Stapleton fans before this is over.
I think so too. I'm blown away now, and the Bardstown fit that music.
Yeah.
Better than anything else we've had tonight.
Now that is a
really
solid point.
That's a great observation.
So if you're going to jam to some SteelDrivers,
get some of that.
This pairs with it really, really well.
That's yeah.
So, all right, guys, we'll wrap this up. Thanks for coming back.
Yep.
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, give us a share.
That suggested this was Caleb.
Caleb.
Thank you, Caleb.
Total shout out to Caleb.
Wait, was it both of these?
No, just the SteelDrivers.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So hit that like, hit that share, so give us a subscription, and we'll see you next time. Oh, also, we are working on the audio issue to get rid of that background hum. We're going to try to make that go away. We know it's there. We apologize. Also, in the comments, hit us up. Tell us how to learn country music. Tell us what songs we need to listen to.
What's the pedigree? What do we do? Where do we go next?
Yeah.
What's country? Tell us about it. Thanks.